Hello students, once again. So let's continue our lecture on transition words and phrases. This is part 2 of the video, and let's continue different transition words and phrases. So now let's talk about another category of transitions which can be called thought transitions. Now what are these thought transitions? Thought transitions may reinforce ideas. They may assert truth, they may show cause of something, and they may repeat or clarify information for the reader. For example, words like also, furthermore, because, for example, suddenly, without warning, mainly, even though, in other words, certainly, in fact, of course. To put it another way, which, if I must say so myself, now this particular phrase could be used when you're speaking. That's more common when you are. That's more common in conversational English rather than in writing. But this is also one way to use transition in your ideas. So again, thought transitions, they may reinforce ideas that you have already said. You may be sort of emphasizing on those ideas, or you may assert truth. You may show cause of something, so sort of cause and effect, and then you may be repeating or clarifying information for the reader. Okay, and here are some examples. So the first sentence says, naturally, Laiba is going to love the idea of selling cupcakes at the college fair. In fact, she wants to be a baker after completing studies. So, naturally and in fact. See how we are sort of asserting the truth that she would love the idea of selling cupcakes because actually she wants to be a baker once she completes her studies. So we are emphasizing on the fact, as well as we are asserting that she is going to love the idea. Okay, another example here says, Heather was not able to move around well because of his leg injury from when he suddenly fell off the bookshelf. Okay, so we are saying cause and effect. We are telling cause and effect here. He's not able to move well because of the leg injury. Okay, now moving on. This building is beautiful. Moreover, the halls are full of antique wall hangings. So we are emphasizing on the fact, or we are adding the information, or we are clarifying for the readers how this building is beautiful, and it also has beautiful antique wall hangings. So words like moreover have been used here. Not all birds eat berries. For example, hawks eat mice and other small mammals. So in order to clarify what you have already said, you use the transition phrase for example. Certainly, the course coordinator will help you fill the forms. Again, asserting a fact that certainly, since it's his job, he is going to help you fill the forms. Alright, so these were some examples of thought transitions, and now moving on to the next category. So some transitions can help you when adding information. Whenever you want to add information to what you're saying, especially when you're writing your major details, when you're writing minor details for that one specific major detail, or that one supporting detail, when you're giving examples of it, or when you are sort of giving those minor details to prove your point, this is when you really need help of these transition words. So usually we use the word and when we want to add something, but there are also other interesting words and phrases that could be used. So instead of using and, try using one of these: additionally, in addition, furthermore, also, as well as, besides, likewise, similarly, accordingly, another reason. See how all these words and phrases mean the same thing. That is, adding information to what you've already said in your write-up. Let's have a look at some examples. So the first sentence says, Ali baked a cake to celebrate his mom's graduation from college. In addition, he helped his sister decorate for the party. Okay, so there's one piece of information and then you're adding more to it by using the phrase in addition. The next sentence says, I admire Martin Luther King because he stood up for civil rights. Besides that, he was an amazing public speaker. Furthermore, he was a dedicated family man. So you have three different points here, and you are using different transition phrases in order to smoothly move from one sentence to another. And the words are besides that and furthermore. Moving on to the next sentence, we will be here for 1 week, for one more week, so we can attend the party. Another reason we are staying longer is because we don't want to miss the farmer's fair. Okay, the last sentence here is Asma likes camping in the mountains. Also, she is an experienced camper. Here, the word also is used to add information as well as emphasize on the fact that she is an experienced camper already. Okay, I hope that it's easy for you to understand. And moving on to the next one. Now, this category of transitions is used usually for your conclusion part, for the last sentence in your paragraphs, or especially if you're writing essays, then these come handy when you're writing your last paragraph in an essay, because these are the transitions that may sum up information to show a concluding idea, right? So these are the transitions that can help you to write a conclusion or a concluding idea. So usually the word that we use for conclusions is so. So instead of using so to conclude information, you can try using some of these words like finally, thus, consequently, as a result, to sum up, therefore, for example, hence, for this reason, in conclusion. See how interesting phrases are these, and how they could be used effortlessly by you when you are trying to write your concluding ideas. Transitions that sum up or conclude information. Here are some examples. The smoke machine malfunctioned and curtains wouldn't open properly, and the lead actor was sick. In conclusion, the play was a total disaster. The committee discussed many problems at the meeting. Finally, we were able to prioritize the issues that most needed to be solved. To conclude, I want to wish you all a very happy holiday. See how these different phrases mean the same thing. They are used to conclude or to give the final idea. Okay, dear students, so let's have a quick recap of our today's lecture, both parts 1 and 2. So what did we learn in our today's videos? We have learned use of transition words and phrases to make your writing coherent. We have learned about how coherence is important, and how coherence makes your writing effective, and how in order to achieve coherence you need to use different transitional devices, which are also called transition words and phrases. Okay, and there are different types of transition words and phrases that we came across, and we went through, and we also looked at some of the examples. Some of them are transition of time, transitions of location, transitions of compare and contrast, thought transitions, which are used to reinforce the ideas, to assert truth, to show cause and repeat or clarify information for the reader, and transitions that add information, and transitions that sum up or conclude information. So there are, you see how many different types or how many different categories are there for the transitional devices based on the specific jobs that they do in a particular write-up. So I'm sure that you have understood these, and that you will now be using these transitional devices in your writing to make it more effective, to make it more coherent. Here is the word bank. Use this word bank to make your writing more coherent. These are different transitional words and phrases that you can take a screenshot and keep this table with you It'll be very handy when you're trying to write your paragraphs. I'm sure that today's video would be useful for you, and that it'll be helpful when you're trying to write something. With this, I would like to take your leave. Thank you very much for watching our videos, and thank you very much for being very patient with all of us. Once again, keep writing. Allah Hafiz.